just got a new studio upgrade, and it's not even a joke. This studio is more than twice the size of the previous one that we had.
Ginormous, you know, it's great, it's magnificent. We have 4 great cameras.
Shut up. I'm trying to do something here. You want the last episode or not?
Why is he even here?
Well, this lab, it's absolutely ginormous, you know. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 spotlights above us right now, and right behind you, you know, with the way you're seeing us, we have 4 cameras, you know, and it's slidable. Only if you remove the bolt handles.
Yeah, earlier all of the cameras were on just, you know, tripod stands.
Tripod stands.
Now you can like just, you want to see Nanjapa from there, you can do it. I mean,
in a matter of seconds, you can see me from there, and you can see Arav from there.
But we are not gonna show it to you right now because
future episodes.
Yeah,
let's keep the suspense up.
Man.
Let's keep the suspense up.
And this is not even 1/3 of the entire thing that we have. You know, we also have this dedicated media studio where we have 8 vlogging cubicles. Well, I would just say 8 cubicles where you can, you know, do stuff. You can do cool stuff like vlogging, or maybe you just want to record something for maybe your exam or something like that.
Yeah, and Tahr Vlogs, our very own segment, our school's very own vlogging segment.
I mean, it has
But
been
also
active,
utilize that as their base, operating base. Moving on, we have this state-of-the-art public speaking room.
Yeah, it's
right
called
next
the
door.
Oratory. Like, you know, the name is just too cool, you know.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can just practice public speaking over there even if you don't have an audience, or you can also do something else, which we're going to talk about.
And
right now.
a lot of you might know that our school actually does RSL, that is Rock School London examinations in public speaking. So you can actually become a certified public speaker. And you know the thing I like so much about this electronic arts block, Arav, is that it's not more centered on our podcast, the Tahr Talks. It's centered on everything digital, on all digital arts.
Yeah.
But wait, before we move on, we have an even bigger surprise for you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Tahr Talks. This is the much awaited Nanjapa and Arav break that, you know, we've all been looking forward to.
We're still here, guys.
Yeah, they're still
For the
here,
record.
but me and Gina were also back.
Obviously, they miss us.
And we're back because it's a very special episode. As you can see, we're in a completely new setup. This is not our old studio anymore because we are in this giant news anchor room for a place that we're absolutely in love with. And I'll hand it over to them to tell you more about it.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming back to the podcast. Shall we say welcome or welcome back? Arav? Welcome back. Indeed. So, we have a few questions prepared for you today. First question, if you had to redo your first episode today, what would you delete without mercy? Like, absolutely crop out without even a second thought?
The part where I said I watched Emily in Paris, but I've not watched Emily in Paris.
He lied in the very first episode, guys, just to let you all
put me on the
know.
spotlight for the first time, but I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, even I watched the first episode, and when Reenav said I watched Emily in Paris, I'm like, this guy's bluff. I'm calling his bluff. Arav.
Yeah, so you mentioned this word, right? Newsroom of a setup. So, sitting here in this newsroom of a setup for a podcast, did you think that this podcast would like ever come this far from where it was?
Not really.
Yeah.
I thought like our old studio would be modified, you know, like the green screen would come there. And
Exactly, yeah.
We thought that too.
The logo would be shifted on
exactly.
Yeah.
I fully thought that, you know, Tahr Talks was just going to be a podcast a couple of us do for, you know, maybe in a couple of months. But looking at this studio and this entire team, it's come so far. It's amazing.
I mean, it's grand, magnificent, ostentatious. I have no other word for it.
Calm down.
I mean,
this is what SAT does to you, SAT English, you know.
Whoever Nanjapa's English teachers are very proud of him right now.
You're right, they are. And so, what was the most awkward moment that y'all recorded, you know, by mistake, intentionally maybe, but never actually made it into an
I
episode?
think it was the second episode where we just started laughing like for 10 minutes before we started recording.
No, I will actually tell
I
you
want
the
to
full
hear
story
about
now
this.
that you brought this up. This was not the second episode. This was a very deep episode we were recording about the silencing of women in Taliban. Okay, wait, let me get to it. Okay, and we're talking about, you know, women. So there was a law passed a couple of years ago where women can't hear each other's voices anymore, and we're trying to pronounce all of these, you know, difficult names because we're not used to such pronunciations and such names. So we're trying to talk about these, and every time one of us would like mess up a certain pronunciation, Reenav would find it so funny to laugh for 5 minutes. And that has been very carefully edited out because naturally.
Oh, it was also the time where the fly entered our room and then we were trying to kill it.
This was Sarabji's third
Yeah.
episode. We had a fly enter the room and it was landing on us as we were recording. So Reenav thought it was good to like climb onto tables and to try to kill the fly.
This happened with us actually, like, but we
found one in the lights, the artificial lights which we put.
Oh,
we found a dead bee.
there was a
inside
dead
there.
bee inside the light.
Because of which the light kept on getting changed. But like
Yeah,
even
that
after.
is why it was
Have
you seen that?
That's
got it
crazy.
haunted.
Okay, no, so we have to tell you this story now.
Okay.
So imagine this setup at like the old podcast studio. So there was a light right behind me over here, right? And every time we would record, the light would change. Like
Prisha's light would.
yeah, my light would change every time we would record, and it was a little scary. We used to call it the ghost of the podcast studio, and I think every single guest who's been on the studio like knows
Yeah.
about that. But a bee.
We eventually figured it out because even like at first it was really confusing. We thought that it was.
Like
I didn't know
a
what
ghost
was
in the
happening
system.
at the time. Yeah.
What's one episode you thought would flop, but like absolutely blew up?
Was it the storybook one?
Storybook.
Yeah,
What was that
Jhumpa
episode? Yeah.
Yeah.
We covered an episode on Jhumpa Lahiri's author and her book Namesake, and
I'm telling you the most, like, I actually lagged out on that episode. I'm not joking. I didn't know what I was talking. Only Prisha was talking.
no, but I know a lot of people in the school really like that episode. We had a lot of English teachers coming up to us, giving us a lot of feedback, and we're very appreciative for all of that. So that was a good episode.
Another one which I thought would flop but actually blew up, like for you guys, was the Arundhati Roy.
You think our episodes would flop, Nanjappa?
Oh well, definitely not. By judging the title, that is. I'm sure y'all have a very good think tank for
Censorship in literature and media.
I'm looking at the title
No,
and I'm like,
that was
wow,
our
this
favorite
blew up.
podcast. That was our best episode.
That
Censorship one.
was a good one to
Yeah.
record. I think a lot of interesting things came up. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So like, did you ever record an episode like an entire like the whole thing, and then you just realized that no, we're not doing this. This is just trash.
Nonsense.
No, I think it was always like, we just go with it.
Okay, wow. Honestly, I don't think so. We've had a couple of episodes where we've made a lot of edits. I've made Reenav come back a
Edits,
lot,
yeah.
record
A
a
lot
lot.
of
The games captain skipped games for
A
an
month
entire
of
month.
games.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We've had all of that come in, but I feel like in the end we've only put out what we really liked, and I've seen you guys do that too, and I feel like that's the point of the Hard Talks. You
Yeah.
raise the bar. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So we have a question for y'all. What's harder, like being funny on command or sounding natural while talking into a mic?
It happens naturally.
Okay, no, I disagree. Can I answer this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think Reenav can be funny in real life, but I don't think he's funny on the podcast. Right? Can all of us like agree with that?
I have nothing to say.
Well, I suppose so.
Diplomatic reasons.
I'm never one for diplomatic answers, so I suppose so.
Because all of us know Reenav, he's funny and all, but
Mm-hmm.
any comments on to what happens on the podcast?
I don't know. It's like
I have a feeling Reena would be a very good stand-up comedian. Maybe not on the podcast, but one day.
The Founders
yeah,
Day.
exactly. Founders Day.
That
Yeah.
was
Oh, yes.
that was an epic one, honestly.
Yeah, but what changed more over time? This podcast, the way things run, or you both?
I think it was both. Like, it was like the podcast and us who have grown.
Talk about it.
Mine. Okay. So the podcast evolved. Like, we started adding like more comedy into the podcast. Like, we played games on the podcast and everything, while also covering the news up. And then we also Prisha putting me on the spot like right now, so that I could speak more. And now Prisha tagged.
We were joking about this the last time we were in the studio, that I had to unlearn talking and
Yeah.
Reenav had to unlearn not talking. And
Prisha's
yeah.
New Year resolution, by the way.
What?
Not talking.
What do you have to say about that, Prisha?
No comments. But okay, actually, you know what? A one-word comment. False.
Okay, pretty self-explanatory. When did you realize people were actually listening and not just your friends giving you views?
I don't know.
So many replies to this. Let's see which one to give. It would definitely be. I think Tahr Talks, when we started it all the way back in October 24, took a little time to start off. But once we were actually into the podcast, so our episodes came out on Wednesdays, right? A couple of Wednesdays, I would have all these kids come up to me in the dining hall and tell me that, oh, this episode was nice. Oh, you said this during this episode. And then it started getting bigger. Teachers would start coming up to us. And I feel like that is when we realized, oh, wait, we actually have listeners.
Some people even came up to me like suggesting about like what
Exactly,
we should do
yeah.
next.
And honestly, if you ask me, that was my favorite part of the Wednesday. Because every Wednesday it was so entertaining. It was good to see that we actually had a school community that was coming together because of the podcast. I really like that.
So was the case with us. I think Arav can agree with me. Initially, it was just our friends, telling us the podcast seemed really good, man. But when juniors and seniors alike came to us and said, "Hey, we like what you're doing and keep it up," it's
Yeah, and that was all
satisfaction.
normal. But then it was actually once when I was about to go on stage for the rock band for Founders Day. A kid just came to me and he said, that episode of yours that was like really great. I'm like, I'm going on the stage, just give me 2 minutes.
Arav?
Yeah, so what's the biggest disagreement that you guys have had like about the podcast? Like somewhere you might have
Any episode
clashed.
that
I think
y'all
timings was the
disagreed?
biggest challenge for us.
100%.
Oh, I remember this one time we literally fought. Okay? When I was going to the basketball tournament, but we had to cover up the
Oh,
episode
yeah.
before I went to the basketball tournament because
Yeah.
I was going for 5 days, and then before that Wednesday was coming, and we needed to record a podcast, but then we didn't have time, so I needed to go for practice.
So did you guys decide the weekly schedule for uploading?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think we were like, I think Reena was right. We were ultra committed, so we used to like to record at least an entire month's episodes prior. Because you guys have a bigger team than us. For us, editing was a big problem.
I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Because Ajit sir, Sam sir, all of these guys helped us out so much. So as a result, like I know, like we fought about like our recording timing so much. But in the end, it came down to this solution: having a bigger team, having more people who can work on it, so that one person is not burdened, and it works out well for you guys. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out really well.
Let's say it does.
Okay, wait. No, I'll ask you guys now.
Yeah.
What's the biggest disagreement you guys have had in your team about the podcast?
Well, of course, it would be the podcast topics. We've had plenty of questionable topics come up.
Our research team never had a problem.
Oh yeah, we had the best research team. Our research team.
I
was
mean,
best.
so do we. They're great people, great minds. But like, there are
the way you think is different from how they think. So, like you realize that they might like something that you don't, and you like something that they don't.
That's true, and especially with the issue of the scripts, they're like, we'll just give you pointers and y'all can elaborate on that. And some say that we're just going to give you a full-blown script, upon which y'all can just yap.
I think by the end we came up to pointers, right? Like there were only points, and then
we started. So, just like general advice for anyone who's trying to do this, we started in full scripts, but we realized like it wasn't coming off naturally. We were like reading off and then, and that is when pointers really started working out for us. And you guys could look into something like that.
So I think you guys also switched to like totally like it was just by your own thoughts. Like you just removed the whole
Prisha,
concept.
Okay, I'm sorry for having thoughts.
Well, we now have a really noteworthy question, okay? If one of you ever just poof, disappeared, Thanos snap out of existence mid-season, could the podcast survive?
Don't give a diplomatic
No,
answer.
No, yeah, it wouldn't. Wait, elaborate more, please.
Look, like I bring in the views, she brings in the content, so like we need both together to like run the podcast.
I'll look a little
partnership is
too
great.
crazy if I start talking to just the camera. Yeah.
Well, what?
Wait, I love flipping questions. So
okay.
I'll ask all of you this. So, you've had quite a few episodes out now, and I've been having a lot of fun listening to them. But what do you think about your own dynamics? If one of you were to disappear, would it still go on?
That would probably be me compared to him because I mean he has that energy to carry a podcast.
Well, of course, he compliments me, like the podcast is Tahr Talks for a reason because there's two hosts. And one host is like one wing on an aircraft.
It should be
It can't
Tahar's
fly.
talk.
Huh?
It should be Tahar's talk,
Tahar's talk?
not Tahar.
Don't, it's fine, leave it. You
Yeah.
complete, yeah.
Yeah, so of course, people do say that at times I do have more energy, but I feel that Arav only balances it. It makes us
No,
makes us a good
definitely.
team, and we have a good rapport with each other. So genuinely, I don't think it could survive if either one of us disappeared. But of course, I think what's elevated our episodes a lot is our editing, and with the green screen behind us on what
Yeah, I
you're
wonder
seeing
what
right now.
I wonder what we have over here right
I
now.
wonder too.
Yeah, we could be in
Same, same.
space. Can we have space over here, please?
It's gonna be much better.
Yeah.
So, what's one mistake new podcasters make that always instantly like absolutely decimates a show?
Yeah, absolute. Prisha.
Okay, I completely.
Joking.
No, but I agree with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna answer in more detail.
Go ahead. That's what we
I
like.
think when we started the podcast, I was really strict and uptight about what we were gonna cover and how we were
Yeah,
gonna
that
cover
was
that.
true. That's so
Yeah.
true.
Okay.
I'm telling
You
you,
were
I
really
told you not to
dedicated at
start.
that
We
point.
needed some comedy in the thing.
Listen, we
You
were
told- you told me not to laugh.
Okay, yeah, we did have a no laughing rule for enough, but I agree. I feel like that is what made our first episodes not blow up as much as the later episodes, because you really get a natural rhythm to your podcast when you start doing it naturally instead of forcing Reenav to not laugh. But yeah, it works out. That's the one advice I would give everyone, even you guys. Just be yourselves, be natural. It's gonna be super fun.
Advice taken. Well, was there ever a moment throughout your whole podcast journey where you've ever thought about throwing in the towel, just saying, let's call it quits, guys, and moving on?
Reenav?
Okay, not really. I know I show it, but no. Like I wouldn't
okay,
leave the
that's
podcast.
nice. Yeah.
I
No,
think
no.
that would be wrong for Prisha because she has always been so dedicated towards this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, both of you
I
guys.
wouldn't, like, it's, the podcast is like her baby, you know.
Genuinely.
Brainchild.
I feel like the
Let's
1 year
clarify
we
that.
spent on the podcast, never thought of quitting. Could never quit.
So are we the uncles then?
So I suppose so. Well, this episode was sponsored by the Nilgiris Tourism Department for providing us with this majestic Tahr over here.
It's plural. 2 Tahrs.
No.
It's plural.
Well, you're more known for that, well, Prisha.
Sorry, you can't be known, Anjappa.
We'll see you guys.